And welcome into Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. Hobbs Lady Eagles are at home this afternoon taking on Clovis, another district doubleheader that is going to get started here in just a few minutes. So thank you very much for watching, listening. And this is on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. And this is brought to you today by award-winning internet provider TDS. Get the blazing fast internet, integrated TV, and reliable home services your home or business needs. Visit hellotds.com to learn more. All right, we have the visiting ladies in. Nobody is out on the field yet, but soon they will be announced, and then, of course, we'll have a national anthem, and we'll get this first of a doubleheader going. As we speak, it's a partly cloudy afternoon, and our wind is blowing from left to right across the field, and it's blowing pretty steady at about 15 miles an hour or so, gusting up stronger at times, but really a pleasure today compared to that wind dirt fest that was Friday night. The last two games the Hobbs girls played were Friday night on the road in Roswell, and I don't know how they played those games. It was so very, very windy throughout both of those games, and a lot of dirt. Of course, that's a natural field surface over there, and there was a lot of dirt and in the air, and just the players, I just felt for them because we've all done it. We've all played, different sports in all kinds of weather. In baseball and softball, you get somewhat used to having to play some games like that, but it becomes very difficult to gauge the balls in the air it affects the game in every way. Even grounders that are hit, you've got dirt in your eye, you've got wind in your face. It's just amazing. So I think they lost both of those games to Roswell High, and now they're here to get back on track on district and hopefully go ahead and pull out a couple of wins over Clovis. They've already beaten Clovis twice this season, so they're looking to add 2 more W's to their win column, and frankly, they need to do that. They need to be as solid as they can going into the end of this district, because at the end of this week, Sunday, we find out the seeding for the state tournament. We find out who makes the playoffs and who will play whom and go where. So Hobbs needs every win they can this week, and they really need both of those wins today. You play them one at a time. So first up will be our visiting Lady Wildcats from Clovis, and here is your lineup for Clovis. Number 9, Shalonda Lefebvre will bat first and play first base. Number 1, Michaela Romero will bat second and play second base. Number 2, Demi Garcia will bat third, playing third base. Number 5, Chastity Hardy will bat fourth, playing fourth base. No, I'm just teasing. Will bat fourth, playing left field. Number 12, Anaya Rodriguez will bat fifth, playing right field. Number 7, Marina Senna will bat sixth, playing shortstop. Number 4, Espy Tafoya will bat seventh, playing center field. And number 11, Marty Lopez will bat ninth, as she is your starting pitcher. Number 3, Joey Everett is catching, and she is your flex player. Nope, she is batting ninth. That's right. She is batting ninth. So it'll be Lefebvre, Romero, Garcia, your first 3, Hardy, Robles, Senna, your next 3, and then Tafoya, Lopez, Everett, the bottom of the order for Clovis. They do not have a flex player in the lineup. Turning over to Hobbs, and they have 2 bench players. That's it. Clovis traveling light. They've got 2 bench players, number 10, Giselle Romero, and number 17, Maddie Cushing. So for your Hobbs Lady Eagles this afternoon, batting first, Kaya Boyle, number 13, your designated player. Number 2 is Briseis Armendariz, batting second. She's your center fielder in this first game. Batting third is Cameron Cantu, your shortstop. Batting fourth is number 16, Carissa Garcia, your pitcher, your starting pitcher. And batting in that 5th slot is number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder. Batting 6th is number 8, Marissa Young, your second baseman. Batting 7th is number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher. Batting 8th is number 5, Kylie Ralston, your first baseman. And batting 9th is number 10, Candace Harrison, your third baseman. Your flex player is number 1, Yaraceli Medina, playing in left field. So that's your lineup, and the bench for Hobbs is number 4, Camille Hinojos, number 6, Angel Jimenez, number 7, Cameron Harrison, number 9, Camry Bennett, number 14, Hannah Souter, number 15, Lexi Martinez, and number 17, Hannah Granillo. And it is worth saying that I see a couple of 3 differences in the lineup here as Coach Crossland mixing things up just a little bit. It has to. That Hobbs is a little banged up. They're a little banged up, a little bruised right now. They've had some injuries over the middle part of the season, and just last Friday after the games, I happened to drive through a restaurant, and that's where the Hobbs girls had gone after the game. They were inside. By the time I was sitting trying to get out of the drive-through, they left. The Hobbs girls left and got back on the bus, and I saw at least 2 of the girls on crutches. And that's never a good thing. Of course, right after the game, a lot of times, especially a game like that, where it was a messy game, there was a lot of sliding, and there were, you're going to have that. So I'm not saying that we've got girls out with injuries. I'm just saying they're a little bruised up, banged up, and coach is having to think about pitching, because this is a long week. These 2 games tonight against Clovis, and on Friday, the Hobbs girls hit the road to go to Clovis. The games are scheduled for Friday night in Clovis. Not Clovis, Carlsbad. They're playing Clovis here. I'm thinking Carlsbad, saying Clovis. They hit the road to play on Friday night against Carlsbad. The only thing that might, change in there is that we had some games this last Friday night that were postponed because of wind, and they were elsewhere in the district. The Hobbs boys played baseball, Hobbs girls played softball, but there were some other teams that decided not to play. And Saturday, the Lovington girls also decided not to play. Now they're of course 4A and Hobbs are 5A, but the point is the schedule this week is a little mixed up, and they're having to shuffle things around, cover games with umps, and think about all kinds of things. So right now we are expecting the Hobbs girls will play on Friday night at Carlsbad, but there are, some things that can happen and can shuffle around with players. Everybody has to be done by Saturday. All these games have to be done Saturday because Sunday is the seeding. So no matter where they go, they can't go very far. They're going to have to shuffle within the week, and Hobbs hopefully will just be on the regular schedule against Clovis tonight, and then Carlsbad on Friday. And of course, Carlsbad very strong. Hobbs has fallen to Carlsbad in 2 games. I was not feeling well and not able to call those games here in Hobbs at the home field for the Lady Eagles that night. But I do know that they played a very strong game, especially their second one started out very strong, ended up losing to Carlsbad, but they want to definitely put a couple of wins up on the board today against Clovis, and that way they can go up. If they can finish district no worse than 50%, 50-50, dead even with their wins and losses, then they've got a very, very good chance of making it into the playoffs. So that's what they're trying to do, is just win every game they can, and with that thought that the more wins they have, the better their chances are to not only move on to the playoffs next week, but also to get seeded higher and maybe have a home game and not have to travel. So lots of things in play and to think about as we get ready to get this one underway. I see the umps, the 2 ump crew out at home plate now. Coach Crossland coming out, and the coaches are Cruel and Olivas for Clovis. So they're out there shaking hands, giving the umps their lineups, and just getting ready to get this one started. As soon as they're done at home plate, we'll have the announcement of players, and then we'll take a break for the announcement for the national anthem. And then we'll get this first of a doubleheader underway. Really beautiful afternoon. And hey, if you're listening or watching and you can come out, it's always better in person. But we're very happy to bring you the games on a couple of different platforms with our box casting. It's on Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, and Hobbs channel on hobbsamerica.com. So thank you very much. And we thank our sponsor, TDS, for allowing for us to be able to broadcast the games and bring them to you on the platforms, on the channels. We thank you. And we also say good luck to our other teams in action. This is a very busy week with baseball and softball as everybody's involved in their final games of district and jockeying and battling to try to put up the best record possible and try to get into playoffs and extend their seasons. So that's what's on everybody's minds, and we are busy with our Noalmark family of broadcasting, our teams all over the place tonight and for the rest of the week as well. We're busy tonight, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. So thank you once again, and I think we'll take a quick timeout as they're going to go ahead and announce the teams, and we've already been through the lineups and we've been through the rosters. So we'll take a quick break and be back to get this one underway here. It's Hobbs Lady Eagles softball in Hobbs on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball, a home doubleheader against Clovis, a team that the Hobbs girls have beaten already this season. In fact, I called those games. I was looking back at my scorebook, and I think it's in a different scorebook actually, as I've had a couple of different ones since I started this season here with these gals. So. And I've got some baseball games in here as well. But Hobbs did beat them earlier in the season, both games. So they're looking to hopefully repeat that here. They need 2 more wins, and then they need to go and try to beat Carlsbad. And if they can do that, that's going to be a really great effort that would put them in the playoffs for sure. Right now, it looks like if they can at least have a 50-50 record in this district, then hopefully that would be enough. All right, so I'm going to turn my microphone up just a little bit again, and hopefully we don't pick up that squealing sound. I was told we had a little bit of squeal on that, so not quite sure what that's about, but hopefully it's gone and it won't be a problem. All right, we're ready to get this one underway as Clovis up to bat. Number 9 leadoff batter is Shalonda Lefebvre. And the first pitch is going to be high and outside for ball number 1. So 1-0 the count on Lefebvre, who plays first base, leadoff batter for Clovis. Right-handed batter, set up really at the back of the box, but she's tall, got a pretty big reach on that bat. Second pitch is in, also a ball high for ball 2. 2-0 the count. And that's going to come in also a little high and outside, as Garcia got some pretty good speed this afternoon. Just needs to bring the ball down just a little bit. Sometimes it's your release point, sometimes it's your, and a nice hit. It's a little choppy grounder over to second base. Young's got it, fires over to Ralston for out number 1. So on the 4th pitch, which was going to be a strike, by the way, Garcia was putting it down the middle and throwing that strike when she had to. 4-3 in the book for the first out, and that brings up number 1, Michaela Romero, the second baseman for Clovis. On deck is Demi Garcia, and in the hole is Chastity Hardy. First pitch comes in. Ooh, and a nice call strike on the inside corner. So 1 out here in the top of the first. And the count 0-1 on Romero. Second batter up. Garcia with the delivery, and that's going to come in over the plate, but high to even up the count at 1-1. Garcia's on the mound. Rodriguez behind the plate. Ralston on first. Young on second. Candace Harrison on third. Cantu at shortstop. And this comes in, swing and a miss. Beautiful pitch, as that was a breaking ball over the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 the count now. Medina is in left, Armendariz in center, and Chavez in right for Hobbs. And a swing and a high fly. That could be trouble. It's going to, and coming in for it is Edith Chavez. She stretched out, threw her body toward the ball, and just got it on the end of the glove. But that was a remarkable effort by Chavez. Just couldn't get there quite in time. So Romero will have a leadoff single. Not an error, because she was running full out, doing everything she could to catch that ball. So Romero, the single. And that brings up Garcia. First pitch is going to be low and inside, and it gets away from Rodriguez. Rodriguez made the stop, but then on the pass ball, Romero went down to second. So 0-1 the count on Garcia. Swing and a miss for strike 2, bringing the heat. Garcia, 2 really good pitches. A lot of sizzle on that one and across the inside corner. Garcia looking good on the mound today. 0-2 the count. Runner on second in scoring position. A swing and a foul to stay alive at the bat. Count remains 0-2 on Garcia, as Romero is out on second base. 1 out, top of the first. No score yet. And Hobbs would like to keep it that way, at least until they get up to bat. swing and a hard hit ball. It's a fly out to deep left field. Medina goes back for it. It will score one. The throw comes in. A great throw as Medina threw from the fence into Harrison at third to hold Garcia on second. But Garcia will have an RBI double and put her in scoring position.
Now batting number 5, Chastity Hardy.
So Chastity Hardy is up at the plate, your left fielder for Clovis. And there's a grounder to Cantu. She fields it, makes a great throw over, gets the out, then the throw back to third. Not in time, but still a nice play. Cantu to Ralston for the second out. And Cantu really had to pull a bullet in that throw to get that in time, and a nice job by Ralston hanging on the bag, then turning right around, throwing to third and making a good throw. So 2 outs. Number 12, Anaya Rodriguez up to the plate, your right fielder. 2 outs, a runner on third. 1 run has crossed. So Clovis is ahead 1-0. But the Lady Eagles can seal them off right now. Try to get that third out, get into the dugout, get their bats going. Nice pitch right to Cantu. Ooh, it's a hot one. She picks it up, throws it, and gets her in time. So Cantu, and that was a hot line drive shot. So hot that she dropped it, but picked it right up, made a great throw. 6-3 for out number 3. And Clovis managed just to get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. Clovis leading this 1-0. Hobbs girls want to get those bats swinging, get those runs across the plate, and we'll be back for that in just about 30 seconds on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs Channel and HobbsAmerica.com. This game is brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. And welcome back to more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. In the top of the first inning, Clovis put 1 run across on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And we go to the bottom of the first. Hobbs first time up to bat, and they will send up Kaya Boyle, your leadoff hitter, a designated player. And I understand Kaya's a bit of an injury that she is nursing, which is why she's not out in the field. So she has been a designated player for a few games now. A very all-around good player and a young player. Hobbs has many young players on this team who are already good. So they're not just a solid team this year, but they're building on the future. Coming up to bat, Boyle first, Briseis Armendariz, your center fielder on deck, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop in the hole. On the mound for Clovis, Lopez, Everett behind the plate, Lefebvre on first, Romero on second, Garcia on third, Sena at short, Hardy in left, Foy in center, and Robles in right.
Eagles, number 13, Kaya Boyle.
And Kaya takes a look at the first one. It comes in low and inside for ball number 1. So the Lady Eagles looking for Boyle to get on the base. They want to get base runners. They want timely hitting to bring them around and in, and that is going to be inside and high for ball number 2. So Lopez already working pretty quickly on the mound. Boyle in the box. And this pitch is going to come in high for ball number 3. So if you got to figure the take sign is on. 3-0, playing the percentages. Although Boyle is a leadoff batter, and she definitely can slug him, and she works the walk. So just like that, Hobbs has a base runner. And now up to the plate is Briseis Armendariz. She'll bat from the left. Hobbs looking for smart base running, moving them around, getting them in. Need to get that run back. They trail 1-0. First pitch is in, and it is high and outside for ball number 1. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Clovis leads 1-0. 1 on, no outs. A 1-0 count, and that's going to come in. Also a ball. So 2-0 the count now on Armendariz. That's outside for ball number 3. So 3-0 the count. Boyle on with a walk. Lopez now brings that one in over the plate, outside corner for strike number 1. Throws the strike when she has to. And now Armendariz playing center field for the Lady Eagles in this game. Takes a look at that one, and it's going to be high and a little bit outside for ball 2. So Boyle walks to second. Armendariz takes first. No outs. Cantu, the shortstop, up to bat. And Cantu just made 2 tidy plays for the second and third outs against Clovis in their first at bat. Now she's up at the plate trying to help her team in that way. Runners on first and second, no outs. And the first one comes in. It's going to be high for ball number 3. So that's after walking the first 2. Now the count is 1-0. Oh, and that's going to hit her. So a hit by pitch is going to send Cantu to first base, and that's going to load them up. Boyle on third, Armendariz on second, Cantu on first. Number 16, Carissa Garcia, your pitcher today. Coming up, cleanup hitter. She's very capable of hitting out of the park homers. That or just solid hitting is what we need here. And the first one is in on the inside corner for strike number 1. So 0-1 is the count. Again, no outs. And that's going to be high for ball number 2. Almost so high. Everett had to leap up and catch that on the end of her glove to keep it from being a pass ball. And ooh, that's going to catch the inside corner. Garcia thought it was coming in very close to her. She turned her body, and the ump said it's a strike. So 1-2 the count. Oh, and there she chased a high outside one, thinking it came in. It kind of had some latent motion and movement on it. It was rising, so she swatted at that one with the 2 strikes on her, and ends up striking out. So uncharacteristically, that brings up with 1 out now. Bases loaded. Edith Chavez to the plate, your right fielder. And the first ball in is a ball for 1-0. So Edith Chavez, your right fielder. Bases loaded, 1 out. And that's going to be high for ball number 2. So 2-0 the count. Hobbs really does not want to leave bases loaded here. They left 11 runners on base in their first game on Friday night against Roswell. Oh, and a call, strike 1 on the inside corner. So it's very costly. I mean, you work hard to get runners on, even if they walk and get hit. They're out there, and that's going to be high for ball number 3. So 3-1 the count. Again, you don't want to have a grounder of a double playable ball. Something that gets to the outfield will bring a run in. 4, and a walk will bring a run in. And that's as good as a hit, as they say. So that's going to be an RBI walk for Chavez. It brings Boyle across the plate, and we are tied 1 apiece. 1-1 the score. Marissa Young, your second baseman, up to the plate. First pitch is outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. And that's going to come in, also a ball. So 2-0 is the count. Bases still loaded, 1 out. That's going to be outside and low. 3-0 is your count. Got to feel the take signs on. Lopez with the pressure to bring one across the plate. Does not. It's high for ball 4. So that is the second run walked in by Lopez as Armendariz crosses the plate. Cantu over on third, and Chavez on second, and Young on first. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez at the plate now. Just the 1 out. Sorry about that. I don't know how the score bug went up to 2 outs, but it is 1 out. And Rodriguez at the plate, 1-1 the count. That's going to be high. Almost gets away from Everett again. And a ball at the backstop probably would have meant a run across the plate. 2-1 is now your count. And a high fly ball. Oh, right out to Foya in center. But tagging up at third and crossing the plate is Cantu. So a sac fly RBI for Rodriguez. The fly means it's the second out. Fly to 8, second out. But scored a run. And that brings Kylie Ralston to the plate.
Now batting the first baseman, number 5, Kylie Ralston.
Ralston playing first base, batting from the left side of the plate. And that ball comes in. So its count is even 1-1 now. And moving down to second on defensive indifference is Young. So Chavez on third, Young on second. Ralston with a 2-1 count now. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's going to be off the outside corner and call strike 2. So that'll even things up, 2-2. Ralston's got to be protecting the plate now, but runners in scoring position. And there's a high fly ball headed for third base. And Garcia reaches up, grabs that for the third out. So a pop out to third base for the third out. And that ends Hobbs scoring, but not before they put 3 runs across. So they get 3 runs on no hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. 2 left on base. So two left on base. So we are going to go to the top of the second inning. Now Hobbs is leading this one 3-1. And we will be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. Brought to you by TDS. And we're back for more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube, the Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. We go to the top of the second inning. Hobbs put 3 runs across in their first at bat. It's 3-1, and up first is Marina Senna. And she hits at the first one she sees, high pop, and it's foul, but Rodriguez watches that and plays that, goes into her glove. So Senna hits the first ball she sees, but a high foul pop played well by Rodriguez is the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. You can't get more efficient than that. Oh, and the second pitch that comes in for the inning is going to be a hot grounder right up the third baseline. Candace Harrison fielding that nicely with a good throw. So 5-3 in the book for the second out. 2 pitches, 2 outs again. Can't get more efficient than that. Saving Garcia some work on the mound for sure. And now if Hobbs can manage to get the third out as easily, that would be great. Number 11, Marty Lopez, the pitcher, up to the plate. And the first pitch is a call strike. So nice pitch by Garcia. 0-1 is the count. No runners on, of course. 2 batters, 2 up, 2 down. And a grounder right back to Garcia. She picks it up, fires over to first. And she threw a total of 4 pitches in that at-bat for Clovis. 4 pitches, and she assisted in that third out. So from 1-3 for the third out. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for Clovis. We go to the bottom of the second. Hobbs has barely, gotten out on the field, and now they're back in the dugout trying to get those bats cooking again and get some more runs across the plate. It is 3-1. Your score, top of the second, coming up as we'll have more Lady Eagles softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel and HobbsAmerica.com. Brought to you by TDS. Welcome back for Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. The Hobbs girls, the first of a doubleheader against Clovis at their home field this afternoon. A beautiful afternoon for softball and for baseball. We don't happen to have the Hobbs boys playing here tonight or at all tonight. But a little breeze from left to right. Other than that, some nice sunshine. And Hobbs leading this one 3-1 now. And coming up to plate first, the bottom of the order for Hobbs in this top of the second inning, Candace Harrison. And the first pitch to her is a ball. So 1-0 the count. After Harrison, it'll be top of the order, Boyle, and then Armendariz in the hole. And that comes in. It's also going to be a ball. So 2-0 is the count. Hobbs able to put 3 runs across in their first at-bat. They lead this one 3-1 against Clovis. That ball comes in. It's also high, 3-0. The count, got to figure the take signs on for Harrison. And Hobbs needs base runners. They left 2 on the last time. Ooh, and a swing and a miss. So I guess the take sign was not on. I guess it was, hey, if you see one that you can launch and get on base with, then you're welcome to swing at it. 3-1 is the count now, though. And I think that would have been a called strike either if Candace had let that one go. And that one is ball 4. So Harrison works the walk, takes first base, brings the top of the order. Number 13, Kaya Boyle up to the plate. Boyle, your designated player, leadoff hitter. She walked her first time up and walked across the plate. She was brought in by an RBI walk.
13, Kaya Boyle.
So this is her second plate appearance. And that one's going to come in high for ball number 1. So 1-0. And that is going to be 1-1, call strike. So 1-1 as I adjust my score bug a little bit. It wants to jump around sometimes. And we are here in the bottom of the second inning. And that's going to be a ball. So 2-1 is now the count on Boyle. 2-1 the count, no outs. Runner on first. High fly ball headed to the left side. Coming under it's Garcia at third base. Catches it in foul territory. Has to play the wind a bit. So Boyle gave it a ride. She was trying to get a ball out into the outfield. Try to move the runner around and get herself on. Came up just a little bit short. But still,
The center fielder, number 2,
nice try. So pop out to 5 for the first out. Briseis Armendariz, your center fielder, up at the plate now. Armendariz walked her first time up and crossed the plate. Slap at that and fouls it off to the left for strike 1. So 1-1 the count now. 1 out, 1 on. That is Harrison out on first. She reached on a walk. Hobbs wanting to pad their lead here, and a little slap. It's going to get by Senna at shortstop. Little line drive, and that is going to be good enough to put Armendariz on first. So a single, just kind of, I think it was just sort of misjudged by Senna out there. It kind of went by her. I think she probably could have caught that. I will call it a single.
Now batting
and
number 3, Cameron Cantu.
That puts Armendariz on first, moves Harrison over to second. Cantu is your batter. And the first one is a strike. So call strike. 0-1 is on Cantu. And a little fly also is going to go to Senna, but everybody stays on base. Senna looks for a chance to try to throw over to first or second, catch somebody off base, and does not. So Cantu pops out to the shortstop for the second out.
Pitcher, number 16, Carissa Garcia.
So 2 outs, 2 on. Number 16, Carissa Garcia. And she's going to foul it over to the right, and that's going to be over by the Hobbs dugout. A little pop foul. LaFave went under it trying to gauge it and catch it, but she could not. So dodged a bullet there as Garcia simply will have her first strike, 0-1. So Hobbs does not want to leave 2 on again this inning. And that ball is going to come inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count. Garcia Struck out her first time at bat. Very uncharacteristic for her. And a smash out to left field high. And this could be trouble. It could fall in. Oh, no. Coming under it is Hardy. It looked like she had a little trouble gauging that and that she might not come in on it on time. So Garcia gave it a ride and tried to move runners out around and in. Came up short. So a fly out to 7 for the third out. Hobbs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the top of the third inning, and Hobbs still leads this one 3-1 over Clovis. We'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. It's brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. You're watching, listening to Hobbs girls playing Clovis, the first of a doubleheader on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. We go to the top of the third inning. In that bottom of the second, there were no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base by Hobbs. Hobbs back in the field. Clovis with the bottom of their lineup coming up. Number 13, number 3, that is, I believe, Joey Everett, your catcher. Right-handed batter. She bats ninth in the lineup. First pitch on her is going to be high and outside for ball 1. So bottom of the order, you want to try to get this batter if you can. Then it goes to the top of the order with Shalonda Lefebvre on deck and Michaela Romero in the hole. The second pitch is going to be in the dirt and inside for ball number 2. So 2-0. Garcia on the mound for Hobbs. Rodriguez catching. This pitch is going to be beautiful. I think it, oh, yes, okay. I thought if he doesn't call that a strike, then he's not seeing what I'm seeing. It just took him a minute. He's a very deliberate ump, but he's calling the corners, and we like that. As long as it's consistent, not a problem. So that ball came in high, though. 3-1 is the count now. That beautiful outside corner that Garcia caught on that previous pitch. And that's going to be high for ball 4. Unfortunately, Garcia losing that batter puts Everett on first on a walk. Now that brings up the top of the lineup. Number 9, Shalonda Lefebvre, your first baseman. So nobody out, 1 on. Top of the third. Hobbs leads 3-1 in this first of a doubleheader here at the Hobbs ball field at Veterans Memorial Complex. And that first ball is going to come in the dirt and low. I mean, low is in the dirt, so low. But what I meant was inside. So in the dirt and low and inside. 1-0 the count. And that a crack at it as Lefebvre hits it off the end of the bat, fouls it out of play to the right. 1-1 is the count now. And even in Clovis, or even the last time I noticed, in Clovis, the people there announced this her name 2 or 3 different ways. And so I never was able to get a clear picture on how it should be. There's a grounder over to third, and Candace Harrison picks it up, throws it to second to get the lead runner. It's a bad throw. It pulls Young off the bag and goes out to right field. Chavez is out there to back it up and throw it in, but that's a costly error as it puts Lefebvre gets on the fielder's choice. But Everett makes it all the way to third on the bad throw. So runners at the corners, no outs. And Hobbs needs to shut things down, not allow Clovis to get in. Clovis wants to break it open. And that's going to be in the dirt low for ball number 1. And on that pitch, Lefevre. I heard it announced 2 or 3 different times, even in Clovis. And so I'm not really quite sure. My apologies to her for not knowing exactly how to say her name. Could be Lefevre. But she's on second nonetheless. Runners on second and third. 2 balls, no strikes on this batter. Romero, your second baseman for Clovis. No outs. This top of the third inning. Oh, and a beautiful pitch. Going to catch the inside corner, you bet. As a bit of a changeup, Garcia took a little speed off of that. But a nice ball in the inside corner. So 2-1 your count on Romero. She hit a single and scored for Clovis the first time up. Oh, and that's going to be a pass ball. Rodriguez, it gets by her. Oh, and there's a throw at the plate, but sliding in safely is Everett. So Everett on the, and that has to be a pass ball, not a wild pitch, because Rodriguez shut it down, but then lost the handle on it. So that will score on the pass ball, and it will put Lefevre on third. Romero still at the plate. Coach Crossland or the girls just want to get in the circle for a moment, just talk about it. No coach is out there. They just took a little time out. I think everybody just coming in to say, Garcia, hey, just do your job, throw, and we'll try to do our best behind the plate. Not a problem. So Hobbs still in the lead, 3-2, even after this run. And there's a little chopper over to Cantu at short. She fires to first for the out. She looks over to third first and keeps Lefevre on. Lefevre knowing that Hobbs, and they've watched as Hobbs has fired the ball back and forth, first to third and third to first and back and forth, and they didn't even try to send Lefevre home. So nice play, 6-3 for the first out. And that's going to bring up Demi Garcia to the plate with 1 out. First pitch is in, and it's a ball. So 1-0 the count on Demi Garcia, your third baseman for Clovis. So Clovis has put 1 run across in this at bat. Hobbs still leads 3-2, 1 out, a runner on third. Garcia takes a swing and fouls it back. A healthy cut, fouls it well over our heads and back. But just a long strike, so evens the count, 1-1. Garcia had an RBI double her last time up, and they got stranded on second base. But she's responsible for the first run that Clovis put across. And here's a grounder over to third base. Candace Harrison picks it up, fires to first, gets the out, and then Ralston throws home, and it's a wild throw, bad throw. And Rodriguez trying to get that. It still scores. So that's going to be a sacrifice for Garcia as 5-3 for 2 outs. It sends Lefevre home, and now we're tied up 3-3. And that brings up Chastity Hardy, your left fielder for Clovis, to the plate. She grounded out to the shortstop her last time out. First pitch is going to be in and in the dirt for ball 1. So 1-0 on Chastity. Nobody on now. Bases are cleared off. 2 outs. And Garcia, Rodriguez just having a problem. Garcia's throwing a lot of dirt balls, a lot of low balls, and it's given Rodriguez a real workout. She's stopping a lot of them, and some of them are then rolling away to the left or right. And that one went off to the right. 2 balls, no strikes. And that's going to be the 3rd ball in a row thrown by Garcia. And again, it kind of gets away. 3-0, the count. 2 outs, though. Hobbs could work on this 3rd out, just get back in the dugout. And she throws the strike, and a nice one when she needs to. A little heat on that as it clips the outside corner. 3-1 the count now with 2 outs, all tied up, top of the 3rd. And that's going to come in low and outside for ball number 4. So Hardy walks. And number 12, Anaya Rodriguez, coming up to the plate. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. So Clovis has put 2 across. Coach Crossland coming out to the mound. Looks like we are going to have a pitching change. So let's see what he does. It looks like he's going to put in number 11. Is that right? Yes, he's going to move. And Garcia getting a round of applause. It looks like she will go to first. Maybe she'll stay in the lineup. She'll go to first. And yes, number 11, Medina, will come in from left field. So Medina will go into pitch as she takes her warm-up throws. Medina comes in from left. Looks like Ralston goes out to center. I believe that's normally if Ralston doesn't play first, she plays center. And it looks like maybe Armendariz will move to left. That's my guess. So that's a configuration that they played in one of the games on Friday night. So we'll say Ralston at center, Armendariz in left, Medina on the mound, and Garcia goes to first. I believe that is how things will stand. So I believe we have that accurately. So I know the umps are busy making notations. All right. So warm-up period is over. We have Medina going in relief. Garcia ended up walking 1, 2. She had no strikeouts and 2 walks. And Medina on the mound in relief here. She comes in. All right, so count 1-0. She gets contact on that, fouls it off to the right, out of play. So your count is 1-1 now. So Anaya Robles, your right fielder, up at the plate with a 1-1 count. 2 outs. Out of the pitching change. Medina on the mound. And a nice pitch, going to clip the inside corner. Yes, sir. 1-2 is the count. So Medina in relief. So mark that, and that's going to be out of play as well. Count will remain 1-2. So Robles protecting the plate, hanging tough at the bat. Hobbs would like to get this third out, and Medina is 1 strike away from being able to get out of this at-bat, get back into the dugout. Clovis has tied it up 3-3 now here in the top of the 3rd inning. Hobbs would like to get their bat swinging, get some runs across, but they've got to get this last out to do it. Oh, and that comes in high, so that's going to even things up. 2-2. Medina in relief of Garcia. Garcia's still on the field at first and still in the lineup. She's a big bat. This whole Hobbs team really is a team full of hitters, and that's one of their strengths. They're a good offensive team. They're a tight defensive team. And that's going to be outside. Going to run the count full, 3-2. So the count is full. Nope, that was a walk. Sorry, I missed that one. I missed that 4th one. I was too busy talking. And so back-to-back walks, although this was the first walk by Medina. And nice pitch. A little sizzle. I think she was just a little mad at herself with that walk. So I try to reset my score bug for the batter here. So runners on first and second, 2 outs, and a swing, and pulled that one way over to the left. So 0-2 is the count. Medina in front of this batter. 0-2. Senna was waiting on that one as Medina took a little speed off of it. That one, call, strike 3 on the inside corner, you bet. Beautiful, and that ends the inning, gets Hobbs out of trouble as Medina records her first strikeout. She also had a walk coming in relief, and that is going to end Clovis's attempt after putting 2 runners across the plate, that is. They score 2 on no hits, actually. That was a fielder's choice. There was a fielder's choice, a sac fly, some walks, 3 walks, and a strikeout. So they scored 2 on no hits. There was one error, a throwing error by Hobbs, and 2 left on base. So two runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. And that is going to bring us to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hobbs coming up to bat. We're all tied up 3 apiece, and Hobbs wants to break that tie. They're going to do it by putting up number 1, Edith Chavez, the right fielder, up first. On deck will be Marissa Young, your second baseman, and in the hole, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher. First 3 batters. So you might say we're starting all over again with a tie ball game. Might as well be 0-0. As Clovis has come to play, this is a much tighter game than they played either game against Hobbs the first time around early in the season. But Hobbs really wants to get a win out of this. 2 wins today. They got to play this first one. Coming up to bat, Edith Chavez. She walked her first time up. It was an RBI walk, and then got stranded on third. That's going to come in low and inside for ball number 1. Just a reminder, you're listening to and watching Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. And the game is brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. Ooh, this is a pitch that's going to be a little high and outside for ball number 2. Chavez flinched but did not offer, and it's a call ball. So 2-0 the count. Hobbs needs base runners, needs timely hitting, move him around, move him in. Break this tie. 3-0 is the count, so 3-0 on Chavez. Young awaiting on deck. Rodriguez in the hole. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that's going to hit the inside corner for strike 1. So take sign was on, and Lopez sneaked one across the inside corner when she had to. 3-1 the count. No outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 3rd. And that's going to be high for ball 4. Chavez watches that come in eye level, takes first base. So that's 2 walks in a row for her at bat. And that brings up Marissa Young, your second baseman. She also walked her first time up and then got stranded on second base. And the first pitch is going to come in and be ball number 1. So 1-0 the count on Marissa Young, left-handed batter, playing second base for Hobbs in this game. And that is also, that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner. So 1 runner on. That's going to be outside for ball number 2. So Lopez bringing the heat back. She had snuck that one, that strike in across the corner, taking a little speed off it. Now, high fly ball out to center, out to left field, that is, and coming up on it is Hardy. When it first started sailing up there, it looked like it was going to be center field. Tafoya came over, but Hardy got it. So Young gave it a try, gave it a ride, a high fly out to shallow left field for the first out. And that is going to keep Chavez on first base. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, coming up to the plate. So 1 out, 1 on. Rodriguez at the plate, left-handed batter. First pitch is in outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Rodriguez, let's see, she hit a sac. She had a fly out, but it was a sac fly to move a runner her first time up. What now? Oh, okay. So we have a courtesy runner. Courtesy runner for Rodriguez.
Now running number 7, Cameron Harrison.
So Cameron Harrison will run.
Up to bat, the first baseman, number 5, Kylie Ralston.
And the first pitch comes in over the outside corner for call, strike 1. So that's going to be outside for ball 1. So 1-1 is the count. on Kylie Ralston. Started the game on first, now in center field. That's going to be high for ball 2. So Ralston showing a good eye, not chasing. Lopez throwing up a little off-speed pitch. And now a nice grounder right up the center is going to find its way to Foya. Picks it up, throws it in, but it will score 1. And Hobbs has retaken the lead 4-3. So a nice RBI single right up the middle. A nice hot grounder is going to put Ralston on first. It brings Chavez in. And Rodriguez is Harrison, the pinch runner, substitute runner, is on second. And the first ball is going to be hit, fouled out of play. So still just the 1 out. Hobbs now leading 4-3. Candace Harrison at the bat, your third baseman. Ooh, she swats an outside one and hits a high fly. Senna coming under it at short and catches that. So Harrison hitting up on the ball, popped out to position 6 for the second out. Runners stay where they are. That is Harrison, the courtesy runner on second, and Ralston on first. So Hobbs still has a chance. And top of the order, back up, Kaya Boyle, your designated player. She popped out to the third baseman her last time up. And that's going to be ball 2 rather. That comes in high and outside. 2-0 the count. And a hit's going to go foul. A nice long foul ball. Wish that it had not tailed off to the right. That would have been that would have scored 1, maybe 2. But it just becomes a long strike. So Boyle catching the end of that kind of off of her bat. 2-1 the count. And a grounder over to third. Garcia double clutches on it, pumps and throws, and gets Boyle for the third out. So 5-3. That's the third out. But Hobbs does manage to break the tie. They get 1 across. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. And 2 left on base. So we're going to go to the top of the 4th inning. Hobbs leading this 4-3 against Clovis. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. Brought to you by TDS. Welcome back to more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball against Clovis this afternoon, first of a doubleheader. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. Clovis up to the plate, and it is number 4, Espita Foya hits the first pitch she sees, and Ralston has to come in on it. She has to get on her horse and ride full speed in, but manages to catch it. It was a line drive shot out to center field, a nicely played ball, and robs to Foya. As that line drive caught by Ralston in center for the first out. And that brings up Marty Lopez to the plate. Number 11, Marty Lopez, your pitcher. And first pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. So 0-1 on Lopez, 1 out. Oh, a hot grounder is going to find its way between first and second and go out to left field. Chavez right there making the stop, and a good throw in to second base, and that's going to keep Lopez on first. But a hot grounder that nobody had a chance to field until it got to the outfield puts Lopez on first. So 1 out, 1 on. And bottom of the order, Joey Everett, the catcher, batting in the 9th slot. And the first pitch is in. A lot of pop in the glove. A nice strike by Medina for 0-1 count. So 1 out, 1 on. Everett, bottom of the order, batting ninth. And she hits a little pop out to Cantu. Cantu moves a few feet over toward second base and picks that one up. So a little pop out to the shortstop for the second out. And that's going to bring up the top of the order. So with 2 outs, 1 on, number 9, Shalonda Lefevre is up to the plate. Shalonda with that's going to be a base hit falling in shallow right, but Edith Chavez getting on it. Hits her cutoff person, and and the throw is good, but Harrison can't hang on to it. Oh, that was almost such a great, almost great play as Chavez fielded that as well as you could. She came in on that shallow hit to right field, threw it in, hit her cutoff person at second base, turned around, fired over to third, and Harrison, it was just a little too hot, and hit Harrison's glove and out. So sliding in safely at third is Lopez, and Lefevre is on with a single. And she hit a single and went to second on the throw. So she's got a single, but runners at second and third now, 1 out. And a little grounder up to third. Harrison picks it up, goes for the out at first. So that's the third out. Right play with 2 outs. With 2 outs, of course, that second out was the pop to shortstop by Everett. And Romero then hitting that over to third base. Harrison picked it up, threw to first. So some pretty good fielding by Hobbs is really helping them in this game. Now they need to just get the bats working and get some more runs across. They lead this one 4-3 as Clovis threatened but was not able to score a run in that inning. So no runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Hobbs will come up to bat. They lead this one 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And up to bat will be Briseis Armendariz. She bats second. She is now playing left field for Hobbs. After that pitching change, when Medina came in, that kind of moved some players around. Armendariz in left. She had a single her last time up at bat, got stranded on first. She walked and scored a run her first time up. This is her 3rd plate appearance. Left-handed batter. She'll be in the box. On deck is Cantu, and in the hole is Garcia.
Leading off for the Lady Eagles, number 2, Briseis Armendariz.
So bottom of the 4th inning, Hobbs leading 4-3. They're at bat, and the first pitch is in on Armendariz. It is a ball. So 1-0 the count. Oh, and that's high for ball number 2. Looked like it just kind of stuck in Lopez's hand. It just got held up just a little bit. Sometimes you just don't release it when you need to. And that's going to be high, not as high, but high for ball number 3. So 3-0 the count quickly on Armendariz. Lopez, a quick worker. And that's going to hit the outside corner for strike 1. So Lopez throwing the strike when she needed to. 3-1 the count on Armendariz, trying to get something started for Hobbs. They'd like to pad their lead. And she does hit the end of the ball with the end of her bat. Tips it off, foul to the left for strike 2. Runs the count full. 3-2 the count. Armendariz looking to get something started for Hobbs. And that's going to be just outside, a little bit high and outside, as Armendariz works the walk. The ump looked at that carefully, but it was a ball. I would agree with that. So Armendariz on with a walk, and that
batting the shortstop, number 3, Cameron Cantu.
That's going to bring up number 3, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop. And a straightaway hit, a screamer right up the middle. Goes out to center field. Tafoya brings it in and throws over to third base to keep the runner at second. So Armendariz moves to second. Cantu has a nice solid single out to center field and sits on first. So here we
Batting
are.
First baseman, number 16, Carissa Garcia.
Here we are, no outs, 2 on. Carissa Garcia. And a screamer down the third base line. It's fair. It goes all the way to the fence. It's going to score 1. And coming in, I tell you, Hardy made a nice throw from deep in left field, though, as that ball bounced off of the fence out there in deep left near the foul line. So that is going to score Armendariz from third.
Batting number 1,
Cantu ends up on third, and then Garcia has a solid double. So an RBI double for Garcia. And Edith Chavez, your right fielder at the plate. First pitch is in for a strike. And that's going to come in high for ball 1. That'll even up the count, 1-1. Chavez walked her last time up and scored a run. She walked her first time up, an RBI walk. It's her third plate appearance. And she takes a swing at that one, makes contact off the end of the bat. A little bit late around on it, fouls off to the right for strike 2. So the count is 1-2 on her. No outs. Runners on second and third. Hobbs has put 1 run across. They lead this one 5-3 now. And the pitch is high and outside for ball 2. Everett has to get up and grab that one. That could have easily been a wild pitch, get behind her and be a run. And a grounder is going to find its way, a hot grounder, as Garcia dives for it. Can't get it, but Hardy out there in left field makes the stop, throws it in, but it will score 1. So Chavez with an RBI single as the Lady Eagles bats are starting to smoke. That moves Garcia over to third. Chavez is on first. So runners at the corners, 2 in, and Hobbs now leading this one 6-3. Up at the plate, Marissa Young, your second baseman. And let's see. Oh, there's a a ball from another field. Looks like a soccer ball came in. Hardy, the left fielder out there, doesn't throw it. She just kicks it instead, kicks it back. So wonder if she's a 2 or 3 sport player, 2 or 3 sport athlete. And that's going to come in. I believe it was a ball for 1-1 on Young now. Chavez reaches second on defensive indifference on that pitch. So now 2-1 is the count on Marissa Young. Runners on second and third. Now 3-1 as that was low and outside. So 3-1 the count. No outs. Hobbs has put 2 runs across. Runners on second and third. And that's going to be a ball for a walk, and now the bases are loaded for Hobbs. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, up to the plate. She's definitely capable of doing a lot of damage at the plate. She has had home runs and lots of RBIs this year. She hits the first one she sees. It looks like it's going. It looks like it's going to be at the fence. Hit the fence and roll right there between center and left field. Hits the fence and rolls back. The throw comes in, but not before a run scores. So 2 runs come across for Hobbs. So Rodriguez has a 2 RBI single, and she will have a courtesy runner for her. So Garcia scores from third. Chavez scored from second. Young is on third, and now a courtesy runner will be at first. And I don't see who that is courtesy running for. Okay, number 7, Cameron Harrison. So Harrison is on first, and now she took second on defensive indifference, basically. So now Harrison is at second, and a screamer, a nice hot grounder right up the center is going to find its way through and score 2. As Harrison, man, talk about speedy. There's a reason why she was running the bases there. As wow. So Young scores, Harrison scores in place of Rodriguez, and Ralston has a 2 RBI single right up the middle. Hot grounder. Sits on second, still no outs. This is the breakout at bat that Hobbs has been needing. And up at the plate now is Cameron Harrison, your third baseman, bottom of the order. And that comes in. It's going to be high and get behind Everett. Everett goes back to the right to get it right at the backstop. But that wild pitch is going to put Ralston on second. So a wild pitch puts her on second in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Harrison. And she hits a high fly ball, could be trouble, but no. Senna comes under it. Senna drifts over there to shallow left to pick that up. So a pop out to position 6, your shortstop for the first out. That's just the first out. Hobbs has put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board and now leads this one 10-0. As it's been happening so fast, I haven't even caught up my score bug on the screen, but now it is. So 10-3 is your score. Hobbs just the one out.
Lexi Martinez.
And pinch hitting, and the bottom of the order is number 15, Lexi Martinez, in place of Kaya Boyle, actually. So Lexi Martinez batting in place of Kaya Boyle. Lexi is a left-handed batter. And the count is 2-0 with 1 out. And that comes in 3-0. 3-0 is your count now on Lexi Martinez. She's a substitute batter for Boyle, top of the order, as Hobbs is batted around now. And she takes her walk and ends and goes to first base. So runners now on first and second, as that's Ralston out on second. And that is Martinez on first. And that's going to bring up Briseis Armendariz. So still just 1 out. Hobbs has batted around. Here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Briseis Armendariz playing in left field. That's going to hit the outside corner as Armendariz looked like she might slap at it, looked like it might bunt it, ends up not doing either, and the ball catches the outside corner for strike 1. And that's going to be outside for ball 1, so 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count, 1 out. Hobbs has put 6 runs across the plate this at bat, and a slap is going to foul that down the left side. It's foul all the way, so it'll be strike number 2. As Armendariz kind of slaps at it just a little bit late, fouls it down the left side, your Clovis dugout. That one is a little grounder right back to the pitcher. Lopez picks it up, fires over to first. It does move the runners, though. So Armendariz with 1-3 in the books for the second out. But the runners do move. So Ralston's on third. And your Lexi Martinez is on second. So runners on second and third. Cameron Cantu, your shortstop, up to the plate. And that's going to be low for ball number 1. So 1-0 is the count. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Cantu at the plate, and that's going to hit the inside corner, yes, for strike 1. So 1-1 the count. Cantu hit a single and crossed the plate earlier this at bat. That's going to be outside for ball 2. This is her second plate appearance in just this at bat. She popped out her second time up, popped out to the catcher, and she was hit by a pitch and came across the plate for Hobbs. She has crossed the plate twice in this game. That was a ball, 3-1 the count, and that's going to be high for ball 4. So Cantu walks, and that brings up Carissa Garcia, your pitcher, or who she was the pitcher.
Now batting number 16,
Now
Carissa Garcia.
she started out as the pitcher, and now she is playing third base for Hobbs. She bats cleanup, runners on second and third. First pitch is going to come in high for ball 1. So 2 outs, 2 runners. Now the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. Ralston on third, Lexi Martinez on second, Cantu on first. 2 outs, bases loaded. Garcia at the plate, and she hits one. It's a foul. It's a pop foul. It's going to end up going out of play as Everett throws off her mask and goes back to try to get it, but it was out of play. So it'll be strike 1 2-1 now the count. 2-1 the count on Garcia. 2 outs, bases loaded. Hobbs would like to get some of those runs in. Oh, and a little pop foul is going to be, and Lefebvre comes in from first base on it and ends up getting it. Credit where credit's due. She got a good hop on that ball and ended up getting that and then hanging on to it. So unfortunately for Garcia, who was set to tee off on one of those, and Hobbs leaves the bases loaded, but not before they bat around and bring 6 runs in. So 6 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. There were no errors and bases loaded, 3 left on. But we go to the top of the 5th inning now, and Hobbs leads this one 10-3. Clovis coming up to bat, and we will be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube, brought to you by TDS. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. As Hobbs put 6 runs across on 5 hits, no errors, 3 left on base in their at-bat and in the bottom of the 4th. And now Clovis with Demi Garcia hitting the first one she sees. A high fly ball coming under it as Ralston and makes the catch. That ball hung up in the air a long time, but Ralston was able to get it, and right there backing her up in case there was a problem was Armendariz. So good fielding again for Hobbs as Garcia gave it a ride, but a fly out to center field for the first out brings up Chastity Hardy, your left fielder, up to the plate, and she hits the first one she sees, and it's a line drive, a smoker that goes out. Cantu leaps up, reaches it, it hits the glove and falls out. I think she was lucky to get a glove on it. If her reflexes were really good, and I know she's kicking herself, but that ball I do not count that as an error. She leaped up and barely got that. I think that is a single for Hardy. So Hardy with a single is on. 1 out. And the first pitch is a dribbler, goes to Harrison. Harrison throws it to second. Hobbs trying to turn the double. Can't do it in time, but they do get the lead runner. So Robles reaches. She hits the first pitch she sees. Reaches first base on a fielder's choice. Hardy is thrown out on 5-4. For the second out. And that brings up Marina Senna, the shortstop. And that's going to, that's going to be low and inside and get away from Rodriguez. That really was a wild pitch. And Robles is going to get to second on the wild pitch. Low and inside. So Robles is on second base in scoring position. Senna at the plate. 1-1 is the count now on Senna. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. And a swing and a line drive shot to Candace Harrison. She takes about 1 step to the right and puts a glove on that. So Senna with a hard hit, line drive, but Harrison with a great catch on third, and that's the 3rd out, and that ends Clovis's threat. So Clovis gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hobbs leading this one 10-3. We'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. Brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. In the top of the 5th, Clovis had no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. And now in the bottom of the 5th, Hobbs is leading. Oh, Hobbs is leading this one. I apologize. My score bug, sometimes it just reset. It reset and went to 0. So let me get the score back on that. Hobbs leads 10-3. Here we are, bottom of the 5th.
Leading off for the Lady Eagles, the right fielder, number 1, Edith Chavez.
And Edith Chavez hits the first pitch she sees. It's a line drive shot over the shortstop's head out to left field. Hardy out there, and Tafoya making the stop. The throw in is going to keep Chavez on first, but a nice lead-off single.
Number 8, Marissa Young.
Nice. Hobbs really got their bats smoking in their last at-bat, and they put 6 runs across, and it looks like they are still in the groove here with 1 on, no outs. Marissa Young, your second baseman at the plate. First pitch is in. It's a ball. Second pitch is going to hit the outside corner for a strike. So 1-1 the count with no outs, 1 runner on. Bottom of the 5th, Hobbs looking to add to their lead. And Young hits that one off the end of her bat. It's fouled off out of play to the left for strike number 2. Chavez, or Young rather, walked her last time up and crossed the plate. She got batted in. She's had a fly out and a walk, 2 walks and a fly out in this game. This is her 4th plate appearance, and the count now is even 2-2 as that ball came in. And that's going to be high for ball 3. Runs the count full. 3-2 on Young. Chavez with a lead-off single sits on first. No outs. Bottom of the 5th, Hobbs leads this one 10-3, and that is going to be a walk as Young will take her base. It'll move Chavez over to second. And brings up number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher. Left-handed batter. She had a 2 RBI single her last time up, walked, and out had a sac fly her first time up. So she's, and the first pitch is going to be a call, strike 1. So 0-1 the count, no outs. Runners on first and second. A well-hit ball, high, going out to left center, deep, right at the fence. And Hardy has to come in on it. It bounces and bounces back in toward the infield. Hardy comes up on it, but it's going to score 1 as Edith Chavez comes in from second. And Marissa Young moves to second. Or to third, rather. So Young is on third, and a courtesy runner in for Rodriguez on second. I believe that's going to be Harrison again. As Cameron Harrison, one of the fastest base runners that Hobbs has. And Kylie Ralston up at the plate. No outs. 2 on. And that's going to be the second ball. High and outside to Ralston. Ralston had a 2 RBI single her last time up. That's going to be 3-0 outside. Ralston had 2 RBI singles. She had an RBI single her second time up. She popped out her first. And that's going to be 4 straight balls to Ralston. And that will load them up. So as far as Clovis is concerned, that's actually a better situation for them, is to load the bases. And now with no outs, there is a force on any base. And Ralston, very capable of ripping them. So they walked Ralston. Candace Harrison up to the plate now. Number 6. Angel Jimenez is going to be hitting in place of Candace Harrison. So Jimenez is in at the bat. Bases are loaded for Hobbs. No outs. First pitch is going to be outside for ball 1 on Angel Jimenez. So Hobbs with another run in, of course, in this inning. Oh, and a well-hit ball, a long one, is going to hit in right field in front of Robles. It will score 2. Sliding in safely at third is going to be Ralston. And so that's going to score Young. And that's it. That's the ball game. That's after 5 innings. that's it. So Hobbs scored 13. That's a 10-run rule. 10-run rule after 5. So Angel Jimenez actually hit the 2 RBI. Hit a 2 RBI double that ended the game. 7. Okay, so that was 10, 11, 12, 13. That's right. So 3 runs in for Hobbs on that one. 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors. And only 1 left on base. And that ends this first game 13-3 with a 10-run rule at 5 innings. Gives Hobbs the first victory in this doubleheader. So 13-3, your final score in this one. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes to wrap this one up. We'll have about a 20 to 30 minute gap between games, and then we'll be back with the second of the doubleheader here. It's Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. They just put a big win over Clovis in this run-ruled first game, 13-3. Back with more on Hobbs Sports YouTube and Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan, and the Hobbs girls celebrating a victory in the first of a doubleheader today against Clovis. 13-3 was your final score. The 10-run rule after 5 innings in play. And here's how we got there. Clovis scored 3 runs on 5 hits. They left 6 on base. They commit 1 error. They scored their runs, 1 run in the first, 1 and 2 runs in the third. And they had Romero had a single, and Lopez had a single in that game. Also Hardy with a single. And there were no home runs in that game, as Lopez was your pitcher in that game, taking the loss. And for Hobbs, they scored 13 runs on 9 hits. They left 10 on base. They commit 2 errors. And your starting pitcher was Garcia. Medina went in relief in the top of the 3rd inning. And for Hobbs, it was a hit fest, as they put 3 runs on in their first at bat. They put 1 run on in the bottom of the bottom of the 3rd. Then they put 6 runs on in the bottom of the 4th, and then 3 more in the bottom of the 5th for their 10-run rule win. 13-3, your final score. As hitting for Hobbs, Armendariz had a single. Also, Cantu had a single. Garcia had an RBI double. Chavez had an RBI walk, an RBI single, and a regular single, and crossed the plate 3 times for Hobbs. Young ended up crossing the plate twice, and she actually walked 3 times. Anaya Rodriguez had a sac fly and a 2 RBI single. Ralston had an RBI single in the 3rd, and then a 2 RBI single in the 4th. And Harrison had a 2 RBI double. So good hitting for Hobbs. Also some very tight fielding. And they did leave a lot of people on base, but it did not hurt them in this game. And they outscored, out-hit, and outplayed Clovis in that first one, 13-3. And they also outpitched them, even though Hobbs had the pitching change. Still, they came off with a win, and they're going to look at playing the second game against Clovis here in just a little while. In between games, we have senior night going on. And, I think I'll just go ahead and keep it right here. And you may be able to pick up. I'll turn my microphone up a little bit.
I try my best to be a good leader and a good role model to all of my teammates. So I hope that I left an impression on you guys. I would like to start off by thanking my coaches. Coach Clausen, you've been my coach for 5 years now, and Boyle for 3. I would like to thank both of y'all for coming in day out, taking time away from us families, just to help us get better and achieve the goals that we want, no matter what they are. It's crazy. These past 5 years have gone by so fast. Like, I was really just an 8th grader. I'd like to say my favorite memory would probably be my freshman year whenever we were at state and we were in the quarterfinal games, I think, and I was a freshman at the time. We were probably down by 1, and I hit a 3-run home run, and I surprised myself. I was like, what? Who am I? Not actually, but I mean, like, actually at the same time, like, it was important, so I was like, whoa. But anyways, that was a really special moment to me because that made us get up in the game and advance us to the next game, the semifinal game. But the amount of love I felt from my teammates, and just the intensity, it's like, it's a feeling that you can't feel with anything else. Like, it feels so great, so fulfilling. So thank you to the team at the time, Love you guys. Anyways, it's so crazy to me saying one of these speeches when I've literally cried to one every single year, and now it's my turn. So y'all better be crying for us, because y'all better. I'm just saying. But my 4 or 5 years of being in high school ball, I've had no injuries, so I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful for every single teammate that I came across in these past 5 years. Every single one of them has made an impact on me, no matter good or bad, which mostly has all been really good, like great. I made a lot of best friends with this sport. That's where most of my friendships come. This year has been pretty rocky, to be honest. This year has been really great for me, though. Like, this is my best year, and it's my senior year, so I couldn't have been. It couldn't get any better. But whenever kids got hurt, that's whenever mentally I was not myself, and it sucks that she's, not able to play with me and sit on the field with me. But I'm very grateful for her. She's my backbone. I couldn't do this without her, so I'm really glad that she's still here. So thank you.
All right. So that is number 3, Cameron Cantu.
Cameron Cantu for a great career.
Being
Good luck
presented.
in the future.
This is senior night for the Hobbs Lady Eagles softball team. This is the break in between the first and second games for Hobbs. And she's the only graduating senior for Hobbs. This is a young team, only going to get better. So we will take the break, and we'll be back with the second game. Hobbs posting that 13-3 win. 10-run rule in the first game. We'll have the second one coming up here in about probably 20 minutes or so at home at the Hobbs Field. Beautiful evening. Still plenty of time for fans to come in and enjoy some softball. The breeze is a nice one, blowing about 15 miles an hour maybe, pretty steady from left to right across the field and providing us with a beautiful evening here. Second game coming up in just a little while, and Hobbs looking for that second win against Clovis, and we'll have that game coming up for you. It's brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. Get the blazing fast internet, integrated TV, and reliable phone services your home or business needs. Visit hellotds.com to learn more. I'm Dawn Morgan, and we'll be back, but we'll take a break, about 15-20 minutes, and be back with the second game here in Hobbs. You're watching and listening on Hobbs Sports YouTube and on the Hobbs channel on HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Lady Eagles softball, the second of a doubleheader, and we are just underway in this one as Clovis leadoff batter popped out to the first baseman for the first out. Romero is at bat right now, and the first pitch is in, and a ball one, so 1-0 the count. As on the mound is Medina for Hobbs, Yariceli Medina, and catching in this game is actually Martinez, Lexi Martinez. So your battery for this game, at least to start off with, is Medina Martinez. Romero hits the third pitch she sees. It's a grounder over to second base. Young is over there on second and fires it over to first base, 4-3 for out number 2. And let's see, on first base is Garcia. Carrie or Carissa Garcia on first. And up is Shalonda Lefebvre. And Lefebvre is going to look at the first pitch. And it is going to be a ball. So 1-0 is the count. 2 outs now, top of the first of the second game here between Hobbs and Clovis. Hobbs won the first one, 13-3 in 5 innings. And that's going to come in low and inside for ball number 2. Medina on the mound. She's your flex player. We'll get to the Hobbs batting lineup when they come up to bat. As we never got lineups from the Clovis coach before the start of this one, so we're all scrambling up here. Nice pitch by Medina. Brings it right across the plate. Little sizzle in the glove for strike 1. 2-1 the count. Now on Shalonda Lefebvre, or Lefevre. Not sure how she pronounces her own name. And that's going to be high for ball 3. So 3-1 the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first inning. Clovis batting. No score. With Hobbs hoping and looking to win this second of a doubleheader to try to sweep Clovis, and that's a low and inside for ball number 4. So Lefebvre works the walk and is on first. No outs, a runner on first now. Hobbs would really like to hold Clovis scoreless here in their first at bat and get in the dugout and get their bats swinging. They definitely had a good hitting game in that first game against Clovis. And up number 2, Demi Garcia, is at the bat now. First pitch comes in high for ball 1, but a good speed on that. Medina bringing the speed, just needs to drop that down a bit. 1-0 the count on her. 2 outs now. 1 on, runner on first. A good pitch. That was going to be a call strike. Nice fastball right down the middle, and Garcia took a healthy swing at it, fouled it straight back out of play for strike number 1. So 1-1 the count. 1-1 your count. Lefebvre on first. That is going to be outside. Martinez reaches up, grabs it, and then throws down to first. Lefebvre scrambles back safely. 2-1 is the count now on Garcia. 2 outs. Hobbs would like to get this third out, get back in the dugout. And a high fly ball is in foul territory, coming under it. Oh, and a nice move, a nice play. And at third base in this game is playing third base in this game is actually, we have Candace Harrison down. No, that's not her. Playing us on it. See, I don't have my book. Oh, there we go. Angel Jimenez. Angel Jimenez is over on third. So that's that last minute scramble, not getting the other lineup in time and running behind on the book. So out number 3 though, as a nice pop as Martinez. I mean, she really had to get on her horse. Angel had to really come in on that one, grab it, and hang on to it. So Clovis scores no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. And And we are scoreless, but Hobbs coming out, looking to get those bats swinging, get runners on, move them around and in. They were able to spend only 5 innings, not even all of 5. There was a walk-off 3-run RBI to end that first game, 13-3 final score, a 10-run rule. So here we are, bottom of the first, no outs. Cameron Cantu is your first batter up, so Coach Crossland making a lot of changes in the second game in the lineup, both in the field and in the batting lineup. Number 3, Cameron Cantu, your leadoff hitter. We just saw her between games as the only graduating senior of this young Hobbs softball team, and they paid tribute to her on senior night. On deck is number 8, Marissa Young, your second baseman. In the hole is Anaya Rodriguez, your designated player. Batting 4th cleanup is Carissa Garcia on first. Batting 5th is Cameron Harrison in right field. Angel Jimenez bats next, and playing at left field. Kylie Ralston is batting 7th. And at center field, Lexi Martinez bats 8th. She's behind the plate. And Hannah Souter is batting 9th in left field. Yadiseli Medina, your pitcher, is your flex player. So that's the batting lineup for Hobbs. First pitch on Cantu is in, and it is ball 1. 1-0 the count. And that's in the dirt, and it hits Cantu. So hit by pitch, taking first base on the second pitch that she sees. So that puts a runner on. And
now batting Marissa Young.
And a call, strike on Young. There's a throw down to second, and it's a bad throw. Comes in high, it gets away, gets out in center field. And so Cantu ends up on third. She steals, and on the bad throw, the error on the throw, takes third base. So now Cantu in scoring position for Hobbs. Young with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on her. And this comes in high for ball 2, so 2-1 the count now. No outs, 1 runner on. Young batting, playing second base for Hobbs. Oh, and high ball is going to go into shallow right field. Could be trouble. Yes, it's going to drop in. Becomes a Texas leaguer, and it will score 1. So it scores 1. And that's going to be Young with an RBI.
Now batting number 20,
double.
Anaya Rodriguez.
Scores Cantu. So Hobbs is up 1-0. No out still. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your designated player at the bat. First pitch is a strike. 0-1. She hits the second one she sees, and it's going to be a fly ball, and it is going to be out. And that is going to be an RBI double as well. So an RBI double for Rodriguez. She's out on second.
Now
Young scored.
Carissa
Garcia at the plate, batting cleanup. Garcia hits the first one, fouls it off to the left for strike 1. So no outs. 2 runs in so far. Hobbs leading this one 2-0. And the pitch is going to come in high and outside for ball 1. Going to be a changeup. Took a lot off of that, but it hung up in her hand. Stayed high and outside. So ball 1, 1-1 the count. This one, a smoker. A line drive shot's going to go foul. That's a shame, as that was a well-hit, solid-hit ball, but it curled off to the left and was foul. So Garcia was way in front of that one. Strike 2. 1-2 the count now on Carissa Garcia, your first baseman for Hobbs. 1 runner on in scoring position. That's Rodriguez at second. And a smoker, a line drive, is going to go between short and third base and go out to left field. And the throw comes in. Initially, it's fine, but then it gets away, and so that's going to be an E5. The throw was okay, but E5 is going to bring in Rodriguez from second. So, and Garcia makes it to second on the throw. Really is a single, and she makes it to second on the throw in. Hobbs with quickly 3 runs up over Clovis. 3-0, runner on second in scoring position. Cameron Harrison at the bat, playing right field. And 0-1 is the count. If I can get this score bug to cooperate. 0-2 is the count now. So 0-2 on Harrison. No outs. 1 runner on second. 3 have come across for Hobbs. And that's going to be inside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count now. 3 runs across for Hobbs. Runner out on second in scoring position. We're in the bottom of the first inning. And a nice shot, well-hit ball out over the shortstop's head into center. The throw comes in, not in time, and that will score Garcia. So Garcia crosses, and Cameron Harrison gets an RBI single. So an RBI single, well-hit ball out to between left and center. So 4 runs across for Hobbs, 4-0. Brings Angel Jimenez, third baseman, up to the plate. She hits a ball, and that's going to go out and drop in over the second baseman's head into right field. The throw comes in, it goes to second base, and sliding in safely is Angel Jimenez. So she's got an RBI double. Scores Harrison all the way from first. But, man, Harrison both Candace Cameron, very speedy. So Hobbs quickly up 5-0 in this one. No outs. Jimenez on second. Kylie Ralston, center fielder, up to the plate. She shows bunt, slaps at it, and misses that for a strike 1. So 0-1 the count. No outs. Hobbs has put 5 across here in their first at bat. And again, an attempt at a bunt, and she just misses it, but moving over to third on that movement is going to be Jimenez. So Jimenez on third now, 2 strikes. That ball is going to be high and inside for ball number 1. Ralston, left-handed batter, playing center field in this game. She started at first base, moved to center in that second one. And there's going to be a line drive shot over the shortstop's head and roll out into center field. The throw comes into second base, not in time. It is a stand-up double, an RBI stand-up double for Kylie Ralston. And Jimenez is in, and Hobbs has now scored 6. Still no outs. Hobbs is really putting on a hitting clinic here, slugfest. First ball to Lexi Martinez, your catcher.
Lexi Martinez.
Lexi catching in on this game. First ball. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. So Lexi Martinez at the plate, catching this game. No outs, runner on second. Hobbs has put 6 across the plate so far. That floats in for a ball, so 1-1 the count now on Martinez. Hannah Souter is on deck, and then we're back at the top of the order with Cantu in the hole. And a nice, solid line drive shot. And I thought it was going to find its way through, but second baseman over there reaching, getting that, and sending it over to first base. For the out. So 4-3, Lexi Martinez. Souter up at the plate now, 1 out. And that is going to be outside for ball 1. So 1 out.
Now batting, Hannah Souter.
1 runner on. That is Ralston's over there on third base now. And a swing, and that's going to drop into right field. As there was a dive for the ball, then it ends up going past into the fence. The throw comes in, and it's not going to be in time. And that is going to be a stand-up triple, an RBI triple for Hannah Souter. She stands on third base. She batted Ralston in. So now Hobbs is up 7-0. And we're at the top of the order. Hobbs has batted around. Cantu, the shortstop, up at the plate. And that's going to catch the outside corner for strike one. So just one out. Bottom of the first. And that comes in high for ball number one. So 1-1 the count. As I see, I did get the coach finally sent the roster in. Ooh, and that's going to be a pass ball. But Coach Crossland is just going to hold Souter on third base over there. Crossland will hold her on. So 2-1 is your count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Just 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. That's going to hit the outside corner for strike 2. So a little change up, little drop ball hit the outside corner. So 2-2 is your count. And Cantu protecting the plate. That ball was really inside, but she turned around and caught a piece of it just to stay alive and to foul it off, spoil it off. So count remains 2-2. Thought that ball was going to hit her. Actually, if she had just stood still, it probably would have hit her. But she shows some class and just fouls it off. And that's going to be 3-2. So a ball coming out high and outside, going to run the count full. I don't advise standing in the box and getting hit on purpose, by the way. It's just that I think she saw that coming and she had a choice, and she could just whip around and foul it off rather than be hit. So got to respect the choice. Count remains 3-2. And she hits that one a little fly. It's going to go over to the shortstop, makes a few steps over and catches it. So Cantu pops out to the shortstop for the second out. So 2 outs now.
Now batting, Marissa Young.
And the first pitch comes in on Marissa Young, your second baseman. It's going to be high and inside for ball 1. So runner still on third. That's Souter out there after reaching on an RBI triple. Young at the plate. That's going to hit the ground, and this time Souter is going to come in on the wild pitch. So a wild pitch, which is ball number 2, ends up scoring Souter from third. And 2-0 is your count now on Young. 3-0 is your count now on Young. So 2 outs, nobody on now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hobbs has put 8 runs across in this at bat. And that's going to be a ball. So it was close. I thought he might call that a strike, being close. But Young works the walk, takes first base. So 2 out still. 2 out, 1 on. Brings number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, coming up to the plate. Left-handed batter. She had an RBI double her first time up earlier in this at-bat. And she smokes one, a grounder over to first. And it's going to be picked up by Shalonda Lefebvre there at first, who makes the third out unassisted. So 3 unassisted for the third out, and that ends Hobbs at bat, but not before they put on 8 runs across on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 8 runs on 7 hits. And there were 2 errors on throws and 1 left on base. So 8 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 1 left on. And we're going to go to the top of the second inning. Hobbs leading this one, 8-0. Clovis coming up to bat. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball. I'm Dawn Morgan, and this game is brought to you by TDS on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. We're here in the top of the second inning, and leadoff batter is Chastity Hardy, your left fielder. And she has 2 balls and 1 strike on her now. 2-1 the count. Top of the second inning, Clovis trails 8-0. And a swing catches a piece of it, but it is a strike. So 2-2 the count now. 2-2 the count on Hardy. First batter up for Clovis in this one. Oh, a well-hit ball out to left field. Coming under it, though. Coming under it and playing that well out there in left field is Armendariz. So I believe Briseas, is that Armendariz out in left field? It is Robles, that's right. Sorry, still trying to get the book caught up here. Sorry. So I believe that, note that's Souter out in left. I believe that's Souter out in left. Souter in left. Souter out in left. All right. So a good catch by Souter out in left field. So a fly out to left for the first out. And up to the plate with a foul off to the right is a number 12. And number 12, Anaya Robles. So number 12, Anaya Robles is your batter. Robles. And she fouls that one off back to the screen, so count remains 0-2. So she is hanging tough at the bat. 0-2 the count on Robles. Into the count. Robles in right field. And that comes in. That's going to be ball number 1. So 1-2 your count. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the second. Clovis trailing 8-0. Hobbs put on 8 runs in their first at-bat, bottom of the first inning. And a well-hit ball deep into left field, but catching it right in front of the fence out there in left field. Nice catch, as that's yet another play out in left field. And that is a good one, as Souter is out there in left field. So another good catch for her. So another fly out to left field. Second. And Espi Tafoya is your batter. She cracks at the first one she sees. Fouls it off out of play to the right for strike number 1. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs now. 2 outs, top of the second inning. Nobody on. Tafoya at the bat. Right-handed batter. Oh, and a well-hit ball is going to go out to left field. And again, Souter's out there. Souter made all 3 outs in that inning, caught 3 flies, and I believe that's the first time that I have seen that in a very long time with all 3 outs coming to one player making those herself. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 2nd inning with Hobbs coming up to bat. They lead this one 8-0. And we will be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle Softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube, brought to you by TDS. Award-winning internet provider TDS. Get the blazing fast internet, integrated TV, and reliable home services your home or business needs. Visit hellotds.com to learn more. Welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball as we are here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and Carissa Garcia, the leadoff batter, hitting at the first pitch she sees. It's a high pop fly, and drifting back into shallow right field is Romero making the grab. So a fly out to position 4 for the first out brings Cameron Harrison to the plate. Harrison playing in right field in this one, and a changeup as Cushing, the pitcher for Clovis in this one, throws, takes a little something off of it, throws a changeup. Harrison gets a piece of it for strike 1. So 0-1 the count. 1 out, nobody on. Harrison, your second batter. Angel Jimenez playing third base is on deck, and Kylie Ralston in center is in the hole. And this pitch is going to come in low and inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Hobbs is leading this one 8-0. They put on 8 runs in their first at-bat. This is their second at-bat, bottom of the 2nd, and that is going to come in high and outside for ball number 2. That little change up for Cushing just sometimes doesn't work. It gets caught up in her hand just a little bit. Harrison had an RBI single and crossed the plate her first time up at-bat. So she is 1 for 1. That's going to be inside. Almost hit her. It becomes a ball, 3-1. Gets away from Everett behind the plate. So, and that's going to be high for and outside for ball number 4. So Harrison works the walk. 1 out, 1 on now. Angel Jimenez, your third baseman, up to the plate. Kylie Ralston, center fielder, on deck, and Lexi Martinez, your catcher, in the hole. It's the heart of the order now for Hobbs in this game. So 1 out. And a solid hit ball is going to go to second. It's going to get knocked down. Let's wait and see the call as the ump says no, that that Harrison slid in. So that ball really knocked Romero down to her knees, and she slid in. Tried to just get it, but in time, but didn't. So both runners are safe. So Jimenez reaches on a fielder's choice. Harrison on second, as the throw was just not in time, so no error. And the first pitch is in, a ball, 1-0 on Ralston. Oh, and that's going to hit her. So she did move back. She leaned back a little bit, but it still hit her. So hit by pitch is going to put Ralston on first and load the bases for Hobbs. So Harrison on third, Jimenez on second, Ralston on first, hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up Lexi Martinez, the catcher for Hobbs in this game. She grounded out to first base her first time up. So still 1 out, bases loaded, and a grounder going over to second. Romero picks it up, fires to first to Lefebvre for the out, but it is going to score a run. So Martinez with a sac RBI. A sac RBI brings Harrison in, moves Jimenez over to third, Ralston to second, and brings up Hannah Souter, your left fielder. First pitch is in, high and outside. In fact, Everett has to scramble for it to keep it from being a pass ball. It really was a wild pitch, but she had to scramble to keep it from getting past her and scoring a run. And that's going to hit Souter. So hit by pitch, second batter hit in this at-bat for Cushing. Cushing has hit 2 now. And it loads the bases back up. So bases loaded, 1 out. And this is top of the order. Yeah, Cameron Cantu back up as Yaraceli Medina, the flex player, the pitcher not batting. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the second, Hobbs leads this one 9-0. And a well-hit ball out to center is going to score 1, score 2. Throw is in, not in time. So that's going to be a 2 RBI single for Cantu. Hit the first pitch she saw, well hit, out to center. So puts her on first, brings Jimenez in, brings Ralston in, and puts Souter on second. So runners at first and second now. And still just 1 out. Marissa Young, number 8, your second baseman, up to the plate. Left-handed batter. And she hits a little dribbler. It's going to roll foul for strike 1. Roll foul down the first baseline. So 0-1 the count on Young. Runners on first and second. Still just the 1 out. Hobbs winning this one 11-0 now. And a well-hit ball out to center field. A throw comes into third. It will score, though. So that will score Souter from second. And Marissa Young has an RBI single. She ends up on first. Cantu moves to second. That scored Souter. So Hobbs now has 12 runs across, 12-0. Just the 1 out.
Now batting number 20, Anaya Rodriguez.
And number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, is up to the plate with her. And the pitch comes in. Stealing third is Cantu. And stealing third is Cantu. So now runners at the corners. Cantu's on third, Young's on first. Not a double steal. And that's going to be low and outside. That's going to be ball 2. So 2-0 the count. 2-0. 3-0 now. 3-0. 3-0. Yep, 3-0. And that's going to be ball 4. So Rodriguez works the walk and loads up the bases. So now 1 out, bases loaded, and batted around as this brings up Carissa Garcia.
16, Carissa Garcia.
Carissa started off this at-bat for Hobbs. She flew out, had a little fly out to the second baseman. This one, a grounder over to third base, and Garcia is going to touch third on the force, get the third out. So That was the third out. Sorry, I didn't mark that down on the score bug. But that was the third out. And Hobbs batting around. Grounder 5 unassisted for the third out. But Hobbs does put 1, 2, 3, 4 runs across. They went into that inning 8-0. They end up 12-0. So 4 runs on 1, 2, 3. 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors. And 3 left on. So we go to the top of the third inning. Hobbs is ahead 12-0. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball. A home game, the second of a doubleheader here against Clovis on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Brought to you by TDS. Welcome back to more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball. I'm Dawn Morgan as we go to the top of the third inning. Clovis coming to bat. Maddie Cushing is your batter. She is the pitcher for Clovis. And quickly the count on her is 0-2. So 2 strikes. She's the first batter up, bottom of the order. And call, strike 3. So the pitcher strikes out. Cushing goes down, looking. And that's 1 out now, top of the third inning. And that is going to bring up number 12. That's going to bring up number 12. Number 12 is Anaya Rodriguez. Wow, I thought she batted already. Is that not number 12? Is that 10? Is she? It's 11. Okay, that looked like a 12. So number 11. So we're having trouble reading numbers and without the lineup from the Clovis coach on this one. Number 11 is Marty Lopez, who pitched the first game. Marty Lopez pitched the first game, and we're not exactly sure where she is in the field. Yeah, she may actually be pinch hitting. So, yeah, we just did not get a lineup from the Clovis coach for this second game. So, but the count is now 3-0 on her. Want to try to get her. She's batting in the 9th slot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 9th. She's batting in the 9th position. And 3-0 is the count on her. That's going to hit the inside corner. Nice pitch by Medina. It brings a little heat. So 3-1 is the count now. 1 out. We're here in the top of the third inning. Hobbs is leading 12-0. And a nice crack at the ball as that was going to be a strike. A nice fastball down the middle from Medina, but Lopez fouls it off and brings the count full. Fouls it off to the right. So 3-2 the count on Lopez. 1 out. Nobody on. Top of the third. Hobbs leading 12-0. And a grounder over to second base as Young picks it up. Fires over to first. 4-3 for out number 2. I believe that's Young on second. Is it Young or no? Actually playing second base for us in this game.
Now batting Giselle Romero.
No, yeah, it is Young. Okay, yep, we've got Young. And top of the order, number 10. She's 10 now? Jeez. It's a mess. So number 10. Oh, it's Giselle Romero. Okay, there were 2 Romeros. So number 10, Giselle Romero. Giselle Romero. And she hits one foul for strike 1. So the count on her is actually 2-1 now. So 2 outs. As I catch all my book and my scoring bug up and get everything as close as I can. It's a real mess when we don't get a lineup and you're just having to wait on players to come up, try to read their uniform numbers, and try to put them out in the field as you can. So strike number 2. 2-2. And now brings it full as that ball was low. 3-2 the count on Giselle Romero, top of the order for Clovis here in the top of the 3rd. 2 outs. And that's going to be called. Strike 3, a nice breaking ball over the outside corner. So a nice strikeout. Romero goes down looking, and 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd. Hobbs coming back up to bat. They lead this one 12-0. If they were to put 3 runs across, that would be the ball game. It's 15 runs after 3 or 10 runs after 5, and Hobbs is leading this one 12-0. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. Second of a doubleheader. Hobbs won the first one 13-3, and we'll be back with more on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Brought to you by TDS. And welcome back to more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. As we're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Hobbs coming up to bat. Leading off is number 7, Cameron Harrison. She's playing right field for Hobbs in this game. She walked and scored her last time up, hit an RBI single and scored her first time up. And quickly 2 count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cameron Harrison. So 2-0 the count. Hobbs would like to put on 3 runs across the plate and get this one done. That was a long hit ball going out to right field, deep right. In fact, it hits the bottom of the fence. And with a stand-up double, Harrison, the speedy Harrison, over on second. A well-hit ball. And she's got a stand-up double, putting her in scoring position for Hobbs. Brings up Angel Jimenez, your 3rd baseman in this game. This is her 3rd plate appearance.
Angel Jimenez.
She reached on a fielder's choice and scored her 2nd time up. First time up, hit an RBI double and scored. So no outs. No outs. And the first pitch is going to be a strike. So 0-1 the count on Angel Jimenez. No outs. Harrison on second in scoring position. Bottom of the 3rd. Hobbs leading 12-0. And there's a changeup that stays a little high for ball 1, and Cushing putting that up there thinking Jimenez might chase or just be way in front of it and swing and miss. Neither happened. This one, a little grounder to shortstop as the shortstop comes in, throws over to first and gets her out. No, he called her safe. He called her safe. She beat it out, and I thought if he called her out, it was going to be just by the hair, by a hair or a whisker. But Jimenez beats out the throw for an infield single.
Now batting number 5, Kylie Ralston.
Kylie Ralston up to the plate. Runners on first and third for Hobbs. A grounder over to the second base. Romero fires it to first to Lefebvre for an out, but it will score Harrison from third. So Ralston, a little sacrifice grounder, 4-3 for the first out. Scores one. She's got a sac RBI. She's got an RBI double as well earlier in this one. Up now, Lexi Martinez, your catcher for Hobbs.
Lexi Martinez.
And the first ball comes in. It is going to be a ball. High, 1-0 the count. So a runner at second, and a sharply hit ball finds its way past Lefebvre at first, goes out to right field. Robles picks it up, and the throw is not going to be in time. So that is going to be an RBI single, as that was a smoker. Martinez right down there, just fair, just right past your first base runner. Your first base player there. Lefebvre dropped her glove and could not get it in time. So 14-0 your score now. As Jimenez crossed the plate. And Hannah Souter is your left fielder is up to the plate now. So one out. And she hits a grounder over to the shortstop, who fires it over to second. And the throw is in time, but it's bobbled. And really not a bad throw. I would put that error on the second baseman. So Hannah Souter reaches on on a fielder's choice. Souter actually reaches on the fielder's choice. And then the error keeps Lexi Martinez safe at second. So an E4. And Souter on second. Top of the order now. Cameron Cantu up to the plate. Just one out. She hits a grounder over to third. Garcia picks it up. And they make the double play. Do they call her out? They say they got the double. So a grounder, that's an interesting double play, as Cantu hit it to third, and third baseman picked it up. She made the first out unassisted. She threw Lexi Martinez out 5 unassisted for the second out, and then threw over in time to get 5-3 to get Cantu out at first base for the third out. So an unconventional double play, but still nicely turned by Clovis. Credit where credit's due, but Hobbs manages to put 2 runs across. So 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors. Well, 1 error. An error on the second baseman. Just 1 error. 1 error. And 1 left on. So Hobbs now 14-0 over Clovis. We go to the top of the 4th inning. After that double play by Clovis ends Hobbs' attempts. They were trying to put 1 more run across and get this one over with the 15-run rule, 15 after 3. Instead, we are going to the top of the 4th inning. And it'll be Romero coming up to the plate. But which Romero is that? I believe they have 2. So that is number 1. No. Yeah. That's Michaela Romero. So Michaela Romero coming up to the plate. She grounded out to the second baseman her first time up. This is her second plate appearance. So Michaela Romero. Oh, and she hits one straight back to the mound. A screamer right at Medina. Medina puts her glove down, and man, that would have hurt and possibly caused an injury had she not kind of moved out of the way. And that was headed right for her left leg, right above her knee. So Romero gets out of the way, and Michaela Romero with a hard hit single puts her on first base. And Shalonda Lefebvre, or Lefevre, the first baseman, up to the plate. So no outs. No outs in this top of the 4th. And strike 1. 0-1 the count on Lefebvre, or Lefevre. No outs, 1 on. Top of the 4th inning. Clovis losing 14-0. Lefevre at the bat. 0-1 count. That one's going to be outside for ball one. So evens things up 1-1. Number 2, Demi Garcia, your third baseman, is on deck. And number 5, Chastity Hardy, left fielder, in the hole for Clovis. Clovis has yet to score a run. A little dribbler. I call that a swinging bunt. Is going to go to third base. And trying to get that, but did not make it in time, as that's a little dribbler that just kind of acts like a swinging bunt, and Lefevre beat out the throw. It was still a good play and a good throw. A good play and a good throw there by Jimenez at third, but just not in time. So that becomes an infield single. And a hard hit ball right to the pitcher. Medina keeps her wits about her and throws over and gets the lead runner. So 1-5 for the first out. And then they try to turn the double play and don't, but really nicely fielded by Hobbs, as Garcia reaches on the fielder's choice. So runners at first and second. Hobbs smart to cut off the lead runner. Runners at first and second. And the first pitch is in, and it's a strike. So 0-1 is the count now on Chastity Hardy, left fielder. She hit a fly out to left field. This is going to be a grounder. It's going to find its way through between first and second, out to right field, and the throw comes in, and they get her at the plate. Nicely fielded out there in right field. So really nice play out there. It was Harrison out in right field, stopping that, throwing it in, and they get Lefevre at the plate for out number 2. So Chastity Hardy again reaches and makes it to second on the throw. It's a fielder's choice for Hardy. Well, actually, she's a single. Yeah, it was a single. It's a single for Hardy. But it's not an RBI single. And Anaya Robles is at the plate. Number 12, Anaya Robles, your right fielder. And quickly the count is 0-2 on Robles. So runners at second and third now for Clovis, and this pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball. 1-2 the count. So runners at second and third now. That's Garcia on third, Hardy on second. And swing and a miss for out 3. A strikeout ends Clovis's attempt to break this shutout. So strikeout ends Clovis's. And some good fielding by Hobbs, cutting off lead runners there and showing some really good, strong defensive play and saving this shutout so far. We're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning as Clovis tries but comes up short. They score no runs on 3 hits. There's no error. There are no errors and 2 left on base. So no runs on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning as Hobbs will be up to the bat. They lead this one 14-0. Bottom of the 4th coming up. And we'll be back for more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Brought to you by TDS. Welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. Marissa Young up to the bat first for Hobbs and flies out for the first out.
Now batting number 20, Anaya Rodriguez.
And that brings up Anaya Rodriguez. She hits the first pitch she sees, and it's going to be a hit. A line drive shot between first and second puts Anaya Rodriguez on first base. So 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the fourth. Hobbs leading this one, winning this one 14-0.
Now batting
And
number 16, Carissa Garcia.
Number 16, Carissa or Carrie Garcia on first, playing first base. Coming up. And the first pitch is going to be high for ball number 1. So 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the fourth inning. Garcia is going to look at that one. Just miss her toes for ball number 2. So 2-0 the count now on Garcia. And that one is going to float in across the outside corner for strike 1. So Cushing took a lot off of that pitch. It's Cushing on the mound. Everett behind the plate. Oh, and a swing and a foul fly going out of play as Lefebvre really hustled over. Thought she might have a play at that, but it went out of play. So strike number 2. Cushing pitching, Everett behind the plate. Lefebvre on first or Lefevre. Romero on second. Garcia at third. Senna at short. Hardy in left. Tafoya in center. Robles in right for Clovis. And a swing, and this is also going to tail off to the right and end up foul. Nobody can get to it in time, so it's Garcia hanging tough at the plate, protecting the plate. 2-2 the count on her. 1 out, 1 on. Garcia, the third batter up for Hobbs in this at-bat. And a solid shot. A grounder is going to find its way between short and third and put Garcia on first and move Rodriguez over to second. And let's see. So Rodriguez on second, Garcia on first. Still no outs. Or 1 out, rather. There's 1 out. And Cameron Harrison comes to the plate, and she is hit by a pitch. A very soft pitch comes in, and she is on first. That's going to load them up for Hobbs. Rodriguez on third, Garcia on second, Harrison on first. And Angel Jimenez, your third baseman, up to the plate. So bases are loaded, 1 out. And that pitch comes in inside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Hobbs looking to put at least 1 run across. If they do, this game is over with the 15-run rule. And that's going to hit the outside corner. 1-1 your count. It's 15, I believe, 15 runs anytime after it's after the third inning. 10 runs after 5, so it would whichever. But I believe they would call this 15 runs ahead on the 15-run rule. And a hit, a grounder over to third. They're going to fire to home plate. And you know what? She never touched it. Everett got the throw, but she did not reach back and touch home plate. And the umpire was watching that, and so was I. And she didn't touch it. And that's the ball game. So an error on E2 puts Angel Jimenez on first and brings in the run. Rodriguez from third, and that scores the 15th run, and that's the ball game. 15-0 is your final score. So 15-0, your final score. Your 15-run rule kicks in, and on the error by the catcher, that puts the run across safely for Hobbs. So the E2 is going to score Rodriguez. That's how we score it in the book. And so Hobbs wins this one 15-0 after 4 innings. And that means they sweep Clovis, both ends of the doubleheader here. They win the first one 13-3 in a 10-run rule. They win the second one 15-0. And we will be back to wrap this one up in just a few minutes here on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube, brought to you by TDS. Welcome back to the wrap-up of this second of a doubleheader. Hobbs beating Clovis 15-0 in another run-rule game. And in this one, Clovis had no runs on 3 hits. They left 3 on base. They commit 3 errors. They got singles from Romero, Lefevre, and Hardy in this one. And Hobbs scored 15 runs on 14 hits, commit no errors. They left 5 on base. And they had a hit fest. They scored 8 in their first inning, in their first at bat. They scored 4 in the second inning, their second at bat. They scored 2 more in the third inning and 1 more in the fourth, enough to give them that 15-run rule in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cushing was your losing pitcher today, and I was looking to see if she had any strikeouts. She had no strikeouts. She walked 1, 2. She walked 2 that I can see. She hit 3 batters. There were 3 hit by pitch. And Medina is your winning pitcher. She struck out 3, walked 1. So Medina pitching the 4 innings and gets the win. And Hobbs gets 2 more wins in the book, sweeping Clovis in this one. First game 13-3, second game 15-0. So now they will go on the road to play at Carlsbad on Friday. I'll be there, and we'll have the call for you right here. We on Friday, I believe there's baseball, so we probably will not be on Hobbs Sports YouTube. So we will check and see, look on our Facebook post on any of our stations on Friday to see where the game will be heard. It will be on HobbsAmerica.com, but the link will show you where to find that. It may be on Lee County News and Sports Network, but we'll let you know on Friday. We'll look for that, and we'll have that game. Of course, Hobbs has now 2 more wins, and if they can get over there and win 1 or 2 from Carlsbad, that'll put them in very good stead. They are looking to finish no worse than 50% in district play for their best shot at making the playoffs and possibly having a home game. We will find out Sunday the seeding, but to get there, we have 2 more games for Hobbs to play, the last 2 of this regular season, and they will be at Carlsbad, an always tough foe. So looking forward to bringing you those games on Friday, taking that road trip, and thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll wrap this one up again. Hobbs winning the first game 13-3 in a run ruled, and the second game also 15-0 in 4 innings. So the first Hobbs sweeping Clovis in all 4 games that they saw them in district play. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball on Friday. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to our sponsor. The game's brought to you by award-winning internet provider TDS. Get the blazing fast internet, integrated TV, and reliable phone services your home or business needs. Visit hellotds.com to learn more. And that's it. Congratulations to the Lady Eagles on 2 more wins. And I'm Dawn Morgan signing off